Fucking A, those are suck. YouTube, what is up? We are back with another day, and my legs are devilishly sore from those 3x10 squats yesterday. I got absolutely annihilated. Had to go to league yesterday, gimping out of my car. We still mashed the ball 8 for 8, 2 dubs on the day. We almost put up 40 runs in a game. I think we scored like 30. It was like a 35 to 15 game. But the bats, we're rolling, and we're on our way for another Tuesday night championship coming up here in 2 weeks. We got military tournament in 2 days, starting on Friday night, so pretty pumped about that one. That's a bigger tournament. Got to dial in the swing, but the swing has been feeling good. I've been being a little chill and just kind of walk up to the plate and just hit the C-ball, hit ball. It's been feeling nice, especially with how heavy we're taking the weight room stuff right now, and feeling pretty good about that. So today we got a lighter day in the weight room. We got some power snatches, we got some clean and jerks, we got our pulls from yesterday, and then we got some upper body accessory work. Should be pretty sickening. Let's get after it. Let's go. All right, so we just warmed up. Basic ass warm up. It was kind of fun though. Hitting the jump rope. We were doing 1 minute on the jump rope, 1 minute in the hip flow series, and we did that for 10 minutes. So 1 minute jumping, 1 minute of the hip flows, 1 minute jumping, 1 minute hip circles, 1 minute jumping. We did 1 minute of hangs, 1 minute jumping, 1 minute of the T-spine stretch, 1 minute jumping, 1 minute band assisted stretch, and we kind of just went back and forth with those couple accessories. Kind of cool little 10-minute warm up that we had. Felt kind of like Rocky, but body's feeling a little bit better, but the legs are paying dearly for those 3x10s, like I mentioned before. They are beat up. But we got 4 sets of 3 here at 165. Pretty light on these snatches. Let's get it. Let's go. Really like the feel of getting those arms engaged in that pole. I'm feeling like I'm doing a better job, and there's just some sort of feel. Again, there's so many clicks in the Olympic list, where it like clicks and something sticks, and I have that feel right now of getting an active pole, like it's like dead from the ground, and then getting that active pole here. It's really set up that catch position really nice for me, and I really like that. And hopefully we can start to ingrain that into heavier snatches as we go. I forgot my shorts at home when I left, so we're hiding the quads, unfortunately, but gives us a good chance to represent the JST apparel. If you want one of these sickening Arms for Moms tank tops, I'll put the link in the bio here, and you can support the cause while looking like an absolute animal in the gym. And that sounds like a win-win to me. So let's get the second set here. Let's go. Let's go. I'm gonna make the executive decision now to just turn the clean and jerks into regular cleans, because the elbows are pretty tenderized, I believe, from snatching yesterday and snatching 2 days in a row. Sometimes it just flares up. I really haven't had a ton of softball volume on them right now, and they've been feeling good, but right now both of them feel pretty inflamed, and we're gonna keep them not pissed off for this week, especially with the tournament coming up. So cut the clean and jerks to just cleans, finish up these snatches, let's get it. Oh yeah, that bar's flying. Woo! All right, before we get to this last set, I'm gonna go on my old man rant of the week, because Twitter has been getting me on instead of old man rants. But there was a pretty viral tweet where somebody tweeted out, order your groceries, saves an extra 1 to 2 hours a week. Compounded, that's 50 to 100 hours a year, a whole week of work you gain. I promise that time is more important than the $10 delivery fee. And it kind of just turned into everybody like retweeting and say, yeah, don't do anything that's not optimized, and kind of trolling the person. I actually do order all of my groceries on DoorDash. I think it is an absolute hack for me, but that's just because my dumbass goes into a grocery store, walks down every aisle, and just buys things that I like rather than just having a grocery list. So if you have the money to do so, and you are kind of a meathead and have a consistent like grocery list, I do think actually DoorDashing groceries is one of the best things that you can do, because it keeps everything on a list. You can just reorder that list and pretty much order the same groceries every week, and it just saves so much time. So while I'm saying that, it's going to be kind of a paradox in what I'm arguing for here. But going more on the side of the people that were trolling this tweet, talking about how anything that's not optimized isn't worth it, with a bunch of people saying, yeah, don't take a walk at the park because of the hours it wastes in your life that you could do, and basically making the message that not everything has to be work, not everything has to be optimized. But I do think this tweet is kind of the perfect description of what sports performance is currently, or what people are pushing it to be, where everything is optimized, everything is microdosed, everything done in the weight room is so specific for the purpose that it is done that you kind of lose sight of the whole purpose of working out and movement, which is first and foremost, to enjoy movement, to enjoy working out. And not everything has to be optimized. Not everything has to be talking about how much time we're saving in the weight room. Not everything has to have a super specific reason down to the nuts and bolts where you cut everything that an athlete enjoys. Like, I mean, it's the perfect example of people that don't do arms in the weight room because they're not optimal and you can get it done in other ways. It's like, well, yes, some of these things may be true. It's like, what do your athletes think? What do your athletes want to do in the weight room? Are there things in the weight room that can get a little bit more intent out of them, a little bit more buy-in, even if they're not as optimal, if they take a little bit more longer to set up? Like, maybe it's worth it to rip 10 minutes of arms at the end of your workout, and you could be doing some groin sliders or hip work for injury prevention because your athletes fucking enjoy it, and if your athletes enjoy it, they're gonna show up to the weight room more, man. And I just really think we like overemphasize and let our egos get in the way of like the importance of what we are as sports scientists and what we are as strength coaches, and we have to have a scientific reason for everything. That we lose some of the common sense and original reasons of the weight room and some of the deeper purposes of being here in the weight room. And that's not to say don't get your stuff done. I just think you can get everything done and still have fun in the weight room, right? Like, it's not a one or the other thing. Like, the coaches that say you can't get everything done in the weight room and have fun in the weight room, like, to me are like the non-optimal coaches. Like, what the fuck are you doing for all that time that you can't give athletes 5 minutes to do arms? You can't have athletes warm up in a fun way for 10 minutes at the start of the workout. How poor is your programming that you can't get athletes stronger by doing some non-optimal exercises? By spending some time teaching an athlete a new exercise or a new movement that might take 5 pounds off their squat because instead of back squatting, they're zercher squatting or zombie squatting, and teaching them different movement patterns and different ways to move the weight, right? I just really think the more we get into this age of technology and this age of data and sports science, the more we get away from what athletes actually value. They have data in all of their lives. They have information in all of their lives. Maybe we can give them 1 to 2 hours that they can just enjoy and unplug for a little bit and not have everything be completely micromanaged for them. If you look at a college athlete's schedule, or if you're a college athlete yourself, you know how every minute of your day is almost pre-planned and scheduled. I just really don't think athletes need more of that in their lives. And again, that's not to say throw out all the sports science, throw out all the data, throw out all the programming, and just have a jolly old time in the weight room. I think you can have a blend of both things. I just think we're going way too far in one direction with things. And we're getting to the point where we're talking about how much time ordering groceries saves you, when some people just love and enjoy grocery shopping. And if they love and enjoy grocery shopping, maybe we let them love and enjoy grocery shopping, even if it does waste a little bit of time in quotations. And I really think the science is making us really stupid, as big of a paradox as that can be. And all the optimizing is actually just an excuse to micromanage and feed our egos as sports scientists and strength coaches in what our roles actually are in these athletes' lives. Give them some time to be like sovereign individuals in the weight room. And not only will they enjoy it more and feel like they have a little bit more control over what they do and their relationship with movement, but you're probably also going to get a lot more out of the sessions and out of the movement. Because we're not robots. There is a psychological side to this thing. There is a spiritual side to this thing. There is a community-based side to this thing. And the worst thing you can do as a strength coach is ruin movement for athletes, which so many strength coaches pride themselves in doing. Again, I've ranted about this before, but the coaches that talk about how they get so many results with athletes and then athletes never come back, it's like that's such a blatant paradox that's right in front of your face that should be a data point of, okay, maybe your sessions fucking suck, regardless of if you get results or not. And maybe that's not the only reason athletes come to you, is for purely data and purely results. And maybe you can find a blend of both of these things rather than just overemphasizing one piece of the equation that you yourself as a coach value, right? So if you enjoy working out, and you enjoy grocery shopping, enjoy grocery shopping. Stop worrying about optimizing everything. Let's get this last set. Let's get to some cleans. All right, now we got 4 sets of 2 power cleans here at 245 pounds. Should be pretty light, but the legs, again, are feeling crushed. So hopefully tomorrow when we got a little bit heavier cleans, they're feeling better, but let's rip these, let's go. Gonna answer a couple Q&As. The first one that I got was how I think about wide ISA versus narrow ISA and if it ever affects my programming. And whether you want to think about it in wide ISA or narrow ISA, earthbender or airbender, bigs versus small, there should be a part of your programming that looks at the athlete that you're working with, as common sense as it is. Again, it doesn't matter the theoretical model that you look at to work on these things. For some, the ISA model and Bill Hartman's stuff is an amazing tool for them to conceptualize how to program with different athletes. and what different athletes need. For some, it's too complex and gets too much into weeds. And that doesn't mean that that stuff is thrown out or not worth studying. But for the most part, like once you do study some of that stuff, you really can think about it in a way of like a big versus a small athlete, or an earthbender, somebody like myself that loves using the ground and pushing the ground away, versus an airbender, somebody that likes being in the air, they're bouncy off the ground, and just looking at which one of the categories your athletes falls into. But looking at these things does matter, and how you program for these athletes differently does matter. And I think you can get kind of stuck into two camps, one where you're over-conceptualizing it and one where you're under-conceptualizing it and thinking like it doesn't matter at all. But the fundamental truth of it all is you do need to pay attention to your athletes' strengths and weaknesses and where they're struggling and where they're good at. And whatever tools and models you want to use to get to that understanding is totally up to you, but you should be thinking about these things. Somebody like myself does not do as well as an earthbender program where it's just straight plyos and taking away all of the strength stuff as somebody that's an earthbender and very bouncy. Just like somebody that's very bouncy and earthbender-ish doesn't do great when you just put them in a program that's just straight meatheads and you're compressing them all day, right? So when you're thinking about these things, just look at the athlete in front of you, look at what they need, look at their strengths, look at their weaknesses, look at how can you bring up their weakness without eliminating their strength, and learn what exercises work for them and what programs work for them. Most athletes like myself in that wide ISA earthbending category do much better with lower volume of plyos and higher volume of weight room stuff, and most athletes that are more narrow ISA don't do as well with more compressive-based weightlifting stuff and do much better with more plyometrics and more sprinting. Now, that doesn't mean you don't find a balance there and you just focus only on their strengths, but I do believe you shouldn't fit a square peg into a round hole and just try to force all athletes into a program that works for yourself. I think that's a big thing that strength coaches do, and I know myself has done that, and we all have biases where we fall into things that work for us, and then you plug and play them for an athlete, and you're like, why the fuck isn't that working? You're just not trying, it's just not intense. And then you slowly start to realize that that athlete is a completely different athlete than you, and they probably need a little bit different program than what you need. So it's really finding a balance of not over-conceptualizing it while also not under-conceptualizing it and pretending like nothing matters. Don't get lost in the sauce and thinking every small thing that you do with that athlete matters. Like, I know coaches that with a narrow ISA athlete only have them quarter squat because they don't handle compression very well. And I think like that's a silly approach, like having them never full squat, having them never go through full ranges of motion, and having them never understand or teaching their bodies the ability to handle that is silly. But also putting them on a 10 by 10 Russian squat volume program is going to absolutely crush that athlete, and it's not going to work, right? So look at the athlete that's in front of you, find a conceptual model that works for you and your athletes, and make slight tweaks for the differences in these athletes. Again, it's kind of that Jug Logan quote of 90% of my program is set in stone, and I spend 90% of my time looking for that other 10%. And I really love that philosophy with my athletes of keeping 90% of the things that we do the same, because we are training and stimulating a human organism while understanding there can be a 10% difference in the things that work with athletes and the things that don't work with athletes. And in this specific case, typically with narrow ISA athletes, I'm compressing them less, and with wide ISA athletes, I'm using elastic components and plyometric stimuluses at a lower volume. And that's pretty much the biggest change there with those athletes. So let's get the second set, let's go. Oh, I spit out the Zen, damn. I was saying during these snatches, my elbows are freaking tenderized, and the pull on these cleans is not feeling good because I'm bailing out of that, but we got 2 more sets, let's dial in. Just scrolling social media, this is gonna be another old man rant, but scrolling social media in between this last set, the Christian Kirk assassination happened today. I'm not gonna full on rant about that, it's kind of fucked up, and I need to delete Twitter because if I see somebody die on my Twitter feed again, because a video just pops up in front of my feed that's 3 seconds, like, Jesus Christ, guys. There's nothing good that comes from watching somebody die in front of you. But seeing some social media posts from guys, I legitimately think one of the worst things in the world that can happen to a dude is to date a very hot liberal woman. I've seen so many friends get into relationships as just normal human beings, date an insanely hot, insanely crazy liberal woman that just repeats word speak from what she says. And like, it is such a mind virus for dudes to hang out with those chicks. Like, I legitimately think they stop thinking with their brain at all and strictly think with whatever can get them laid by these hot liberal women. And I'm sure it's the exact opposite. It's the exact same in the opposite realm with a girl dating like a super hot conservative guy. But oh my God, I like some of the Instagram posts that I'm reading right now. After a dude with a family was legitimately murdered in front of everybody because their hot liberal girlfriend wants them to post that is fucking wild to me, man. Stop thinking with your fucking dick and just use a little bit of common sense in what you're posting. My fucking God, dude. It's so funny because I've seen dudes like be completely normal, get into a relationship like that, go completely fucking insane, and then come out of that relationship and come back to being completely normal. And I'm sure myself has fallen into some of these traps before too. But oh my God, dudes, come on. Think with your fucking head a little bit, not with your dick, for at least just a little bit. And if you're not gonna think with your head, don't fucking post it on social media. Blows my mind. Some of the dumb shit people post to get laid. Makes me want to kill myself. Jesus Christ, let's go. Let's get this last set. Oh, gross. Let's get to some deadlifts. All right, we got these deficit pulls that we were supposed to do yesterday. 4 sets of 5 here. It's probably gonna fuck me up. My legs are shot. Let's get it. Oh my God. Fuck, that was heavy. Holy shit, 3 more sets there. God damn, my hammy's gonna kill me. All right, second set here, I gotta fucking dial in. These are gonna be hard. Let's go. Oof. Oof. Oh my God. God damn. Fuck. All right, third set here. We'll answer another Q&A after this, but we gotta dial in, man. These are fucking me up. Let's go. Fuck. Getting out of bed tomorrow after these is going to be a tough story after how the legs were already feeling today. But we got one more set here. Let's man up and do it. Let's go. Three. Fucking A, those are suck. We got some incline bench and some side bends. Let's go. Oh, all right. To finish up today, we got our 4th set of 8 here on these incline presses at 85 pounds. Just the heaviest dumbbells we got. And then 4 sets of 8 side bends. Training that spine, we're on our 4th set there as well. I was asked what some of my lifting goals are right now, and I know I answered this in some of the off-season posts that I made previously. But the goal is to clean 405, snatch 275 right now, and run a sub 1 fly 10. There's some micro like jumping goals in there, but those are the big 3. Sub 1 fly 10, 405 clean, 275 snatch. We get those 3 things done, we're gonna be an absolute fucking monster. And we're well on the way to doing them. So let's get after this, let's go. Oof. 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 Let's go. Finish up with some side bends, get out of here. Then to finish up today, we got 4 sets of 8 here. 4th set here of these side bends. Let's rip and let's go. I'm fucking shot from the deadlifts. Oof. 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 There we go, and that's a freaking day. I am shot. I appreciate you guys watching. Keep chopping wood.